moments and they're very few and far. So that walk to the cage, you know, is very important for us to make sure our mind's in the right place. We're ready to go to battle.
Now, I went backstage earlier. The atmosphere is certainly bubbling back there. We've got two teams. We've got the red corner, we've got the blue corner, and in each change room, the lads were already getting warmed up, ready to come out.
Yeah.
Now, super.
Start again. Start that intro again. What's going on with this? Let's keep turning on and off. 2 minutes on deal with it. Start again.
What's happening, folks? We are live at Kingdom Combat Championships 8 at Bowlers Exhibition Centre in Manchester. My name's Brett Baker. I'm joined by my co-commentator, Danny Roberts. How we doing, bro?
Doing amazing, fine, thank you. Really excited to be here, to be a part of Kingdom. And again, another spectacular lineup that we have. And I'm very excited to be able to see these young, talented guys come out and showcase their skills, you know, on such an amazing platform.
Well said, that man. Well said, that man. So our fighters will be making their way to the cage soon. But you know, before we get there, Danny, how do you tell the people at home? How does it feel when you're walking out for that fight? What's the atmosphere like? What's the feelings?
It's amazing, and listen, it's something that these moments are very few and far, but we live for them. Ultimately, all the minutes, the hours, the weeks that are spent in the gym, just kind of, you know, modifying and just accumulating the skill set that we need to be able to come in here and be able to showcase the skills. It's important to be able to, you know, come out here and do what you got to do. So that walk to the cage is a big thing. You understand, it's the moments before you actually go into battle, and I think it's like if I could put it down, it's a modern day Spartan type level kind of you know, achievement. And it's like I say, there's a lot of big questions that you have that you want to get the answers. You know, it all comes together as an amalgamation, and it's just it's a fantastic place to be in. You know, you're ready to show everyone what you're about.
Fantastic, and everybody's got a front row seat here today. So let's get to it.
Championship proudly presents an evening of championship MMA action. We are ready to welcome our first fighters to the cage. Please welcome first and making their way to the red corner, Kieran.
Just like you were talking about, Danny, we've got our first fighter making the walk tonight in the Bowlers Exhibition Centre in Manchester. What a fantastic venue to host the show. What a fantastic venue to fight in.
Yeah, both. Fantastic venue, fantastic show, and then he's also coming out with the tunes. I like this. And again, look, listen, this guy's opening the show for us, so in some way, shape or form, he's going to feel a little bit of pressure, but I also believe and feel that it's going to be a lot more excitement that's going to be coming from him. You know, he's going to be excited and he can't wait to get out there and do what he's got to do.
You can set the tone, right? Kieran King's walking out for the first fight. Kingdom Combat Championships number 8. Like, you can already feel people are starting to pour in. There's some queues at the bar. There's a lot of people sat down waiting in anticipation, ready for the action, because there's no show like an MMA show, right?
No.
I've been to watch every sport on the planet. I love sport, but nothing comes close to this sport.
Again, we talk about that. We're still on that page. We were talking about it not so long ago. And we're just saying about the evolution of the sport, how fast it's grown and where we've got to from where we was. You know, all of them elements put together brings you to where we are today. And these guys, they're coming up, and ultimately they have an amalgamation of the skill set going in, where they're just a complete MMA athlete.
I think now, we were talking about this the other day with like lads in our gym. When you're going to debut, you're coming up against guys who are complete fighters who can do everything from day dot.
Yeah.
Not from 10 fights in, from day dot. And that makes an exciting show for the fans because it's a technical chess battle, right?
Yeah, exactly that. I don't think there's any other way you can really put it. And again, especially with the fact that you're coming out, first fight on, you know, you're gonna wanna put it on the line, you know.
Like, I've never opened a card myself, but I've always found like the shows I've fought on that I've had a good fight first off, and everybody's wanting to follow suit. Like the energy in the changing rooms, right?
Yeah.
And you see, I want to put on a good show. I want to put on a good show, and then it gets contagious, and it makes for a good atmosphere for not just the fighters, not just us cage side, but the entire crowd and for the people watching at home.
Yeah, man. Listen, from a fighter's perspective, let's be honest and just say how it is, right? It's something that we all want to do. We want to go out there as a fighter. We want to put on the best show that we can put on. Not just for the fans, but for ourselves. You know, accountability in this game is a big thing. So, you know, we want to be able to go out there. We want to be able to really make a statement, and then for people to be talking about us, to the next time we come out. So it keeps our relevance.
Well, we've got that relevance as well with Kingdom. We've got plenty of folk coming back this time round. Plenty of fan favourites and soon to be fan favourites.
There we go.
Yeah.
I like that.
And ladies and gentlemen, please welcome his opponent to the blue corner, Jack Aldis.
Now making his way to the blue corner, we have Jack Aldis fighting out of North Wales Fight Academy. Great gym. Got a lot of prospects coming through the ranks at the minute.
And again, I'll say this, Brett, as a fighter, listen, just being in his atmosphere, the vibration that you can feel, the energy, you know, is electric, and it's something that just G's you up, and it gets me personally wanting to be a part of it, you know. And these walkouts are spectacular. It's something to be lived by.
Well, this is Jack's debut, so I'm sure he's going to be soaking up every moment right now. It's not because this isn't just the experience of the fight itself. This is part of it. This is where you ask yourself the questions: have I done everything? If there's been no stone left unturned, what's it going to be like when it's your debut? You can do all the training in the world, but you don't know until you get in there.
Yeah, exactly that. Something that I always tend to look at and pay attention to is just the people that they have walking out with them. You know, I can see his coaches there, Liam Burston, a couple of the guys there I've trained with myself, you know, and they fought, and they fought at a good level. So it's understanding that transition and that translation will be then put onto their fighters. So then you're going to obviously see that getting showcased as well.
Absolutely. When you've got a fighter that trusts in the corner, you're not just fighting one guy, you're fighting four guys.
Exactly.
You're fighting the corner as well, because they'll take that energy in there with them, right from not just the dressing room, but the 6 weeks, 7 weeks, 8 weeks leading up to it. The questions you ask your coach, and your coach is there for you. Or you go in there feeling like you've got a team behind you, right?
Exactly that.
Seems like he's brought a bit of a crowd with him as Jack as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kingdom Combat Championship proudly presents 3 3-minute rounds of amateur featherweight MMA action. Our referee in charge for this contest is Jamie Alderson. Introducing our first fighter, fighting out of the red corner. Please welcome Kieran. And ladies and gentlemen, please welcome his opponent facing him across the cage and fighting out of the blue corner. Representing North Wales Fight Academy, Jack Aldis.
And this is where it begins.
You can cut the atmosphere with a knife when it goes that quiet as well.
Oh my God. And do you know what, for every fighter that's in that position, that little split second, I say a few seconds before you actually touch gloves and start, you know, everything is in that moment.
We've got King looking for the double. Oi, big slam.
Nice pick up there on high C.
Jack just popped straight up though. He's got a tight front headlock there. Might be looking for an anaconda, I believe.
Again, he got a lovely spool, good weight distribution as well.
This is nice and steady pace as well for Jack for his debuts, like slowing the fight down a little bit, getting settled in after quite a chaotic first 10 seconds.
I like his body posture at the moment, nice and sprawled out, nice and long.
And one thing we know about these North Wales Fight Academy guys is they've got a great skill set all around, but their grappling does stand out. Jack doing well to keep that hip-to-hip connection, not get spun over.
It looks like he's just trying to maintain position now. He goes
Takes mount. This could be all she wrote, Danny.
This is where
Jack's in a fantastic position to start raining down shots.
Yeah.
Referee warning for the back of the head, though. Referee's going to step in.
ground and pound.
And that's it, we called it.
There we go.
Now, Kieran King is contesting that, but you know, you've got to defend yourselves at all times. Defend yourself at all times. If you're not looking to fight back, the referee is going to stop the fight.
But that's it, you can't just shell up and cover up, right?
Right.
You've got to show some type of response, and if there isn't a response, then you're only looking after your safety.
Well, this is it, right? Fighter safety is paramount. The ref's in there to make sure everybody stays okay, you know? While it might be, literally, like you said, modern-day gladiators, it might be a Spartan sport. It's a sport with sportsmanship. We're looking to keep a fair fight. And if you're not fighting back, you're not giving answers, the referee is not seeing anything that makes him think that you're still in the fight. Fight's off.
And again, that's a universal understanding, right? It's something that's, you know, we see it, we know what it is, and it's just a case of us being able to understand that. Otherwise, they have the rules meeting at the start, so he would have been prepped, he would have been told, things he would have had to, you know, be aware of. So again, it's just a fantastic performance there by Jack. Took control of it really quick, took it into his own hands, and yeah, ran away with it.
He's leaving the cage 1-0 now.
Ladies and gentlemen, can we please have a big round of applause for both of our fighters?
One happy kid there, leaving the cage.
Well, I think as well, the best thing for Jack, while he might not have got a seriously long cage time, he kept super composed and he slowed the fight down. Like, King came out super erratic, super chaotic, wanting to put the pressure on Jack.
Yeah.
Whereas Jack slowed the fight down to his pace, stayed on top, rode the hips, and then got the finish, right? And that's exactly what you want. He can be back fighting in a month or two.
Yeah, for sure.
He's not taken any damage there.
It's about controlling the tempo of the fight, you know, and being the boss when you're in there, because when that cage door shuts, it's only you and that other and your opponent. And again, they're trying to enforce their will on you, and likewise with you with them.
Swear that. You hear what he said? Live actually moves, right? In between rounds. Just on the monitor. It's not on the monitor. It's on top of it. That's what he's saying. It's not there. It's not on the screen. Typical of Thunder when commentating, if it's not on the screen, don't talk about it. It's happening over there. Like, if it's a fight in the crowd, it's not on the screen. Don't mention it.
That's what I'm watching. It's quite better to go off this than that, right?
Please welcome first making their way to the red corner, Will Grogans.
Making his way to the red corner, we have Will Grogans out of Powerhouse MMA. Now, Powers, who runs that club, good mate of mine, used to train with him back in the day. When he first started out, actually, I trained with Powers.
You didn't tell me that.
Yeah, he used to train with Powers back in the day, yeah. When he first started out, literally when he first started out, just kickboxer, trained with us there before he went to Sub-Zone, leveled up. Yeah.
Little dark horse, aren't you, Brett?
Yeah, I've been around a bit, mate.
My guy.
And he brings that aggressive kickboxing style to his guys, and I think another thing that you get with the Powerhouse guys is they're super clinical and sharp in every movement they make, but not to the point where they're like sterile. Not to the point they're sterile. They're super aggressive, and that makes for a super exciting fight. How many times can I say super in one sentence?
As many times as you like, Brett.
Yeah, I know, right? But I've got to say, the grappling credentials of this team's took a massive step up in the last couple of years. And some of these lads you've seen come through now, like, these guys have been in that gym since a young age, and they've soaked in the culture, the training culture, and it comes through in the fights.
Well, again, just a second on what you were saying before. What you were saying about the whole thing with the time spent, you know?
So this battle's taking place at a catch weight of 63 kilograms. You've seen a lot more of these catch weight bouts now, because we're making more moves in mixed martial arts to accommodate more people, right? So there's growing sport, there's more people coming through, so there's probably more need for more weight classes.
Definitely. I think the demand's there now.
It is.
Especially the fact that we're coming into a very fluctuated sport. You know, and again, what you say about how quick it's been growing, and you know, it's just it's been evolving. So with that, we need to have the answers when they present themselves.
And I think it's important that you've got shows like Kingdom willing to make those accommodations and find different weight classes, find these catch weights while we solidify maybe a different system for like weighing people in for fights, maybe adding more weight classes. It's important that shows get on board and like sort of pioneer and lead the way.
But again, because I'll put this into perspective for the average watcher, right? We're in a position where people commonly ask me, they're like, why do you do weight cutting? Why don't they have extra weights? Why don't they? And it's trying to give them the answers to that. It's like, why do I cut so much weight when ultimately I know that my performance would be better if it was a smaller weight cut, right? Rather than me being in the reserve tank all the time. So some people are lucky and fortunate enough where they sit right in that nice little niche, and for other people, they have to make a major cut each way. Sounds like both these fighters have brought some fans with them.
Yeah, two young lads looking to make a statement tonight.
Definitely. This is bout number 2 of 3 that is on before we go live, correct?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Both of them coming out starting fast. Nice little twitches, nice little reads. It's well-timed backhand there. Generally a feeling out process, but also, you know, with the time that these guys get given in the amateurs, they're normally just firing straight in.
Yeah, you've only got 3 minutes, right? You've not got 5-minute rounds like you have at a professional.
Exactly, so you're trying to establish a dominance very quick. Straight on the body like there. Comes round to the back.
Yeah, nice duck under there.
Yeah.
Got that broomstick takedown maybe. Looking for the back. So Colby Evans might be in the more dominant corner there, position, but Grogans has gone back to his corner to get advice from his coaches.
Yeah.
How important is that?
It's massive. We know it's just as much mental as it is physical, you know, if not more.
Sometimes we'll see in fights, fighters will pick their opponent up and take them to their own corner so they can get like grappling instruction from their coaches. That was slick.
Loved the way he
big mat return to a body triangle.
Yeah.
Colby Evans. We're not even halfway in the round yet, so he's got plenty of time. Neither man's sweaty, so you get a lot more grip, right, before you're sweating in a fight.
Definitely. One thing I've noticed since the fight started is Colby seems to be very confident and comfortable with going straight into the grappling exchanges. Just be careful, try and fight.
Yeah, he's gone palm to palm there.
Just try and fight off that grip. Just concentrate on them hands for now.
And how exhausting is it when you're constantly locked in a body triangle?
Again, it's close to your diaphragm. It's constantly, again, look, you can see him just now elevating his hips as well, trying to stretch him out a little bit from the back. It's an uncomfortable position to be in.
Colby Evans doing a good job of switching the triangle as well from left to right. As Will Grogans looks to escape. Will Grogans is a tough kid in there, man.
I was just about to say that. It's not like he isn't fighting off. It's not like he isn't doing the right things that he needs to do at the time.
He's trying to unlock the legs there. It literally is the only way out. You've got to either spin while they're changing the body triangle, or you've got to get behind the legs, pry it off. It's just exhausting. Every time you take a breath in, that triangle gets tighter, and you try and breathe out, push it against your diaphragm. That's a lot of control time there for Colby Evans.
Oh, a hell of a lot.
And like you said earlier, Danny, 3-minute rounds is not a very long time.
It's not, especially for spending 2 minutes, right, in a body triangle.
Great show of sportsmanship there.
I think they've both established that they've got the will to fight, you know?
Yeah, absolutely, and that's all you can ask for in young amateur fighters. You've got to want to fight to be a fighter, because it only gets tougher, right? So you've got to want to be in there, and for these lads who are quite early on in their careers, it's quite evident that they're happy to get in there. They want to fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, they want to fight.
Again, like they say, one of the things that you can't teach is heart, right? But again, having the time that you spend in the cage and understanding, knowing that in different situations, you can build that mental fortitude also through going through adversity. Round 2.
So both guys are 1-0 leading into this second round. They both got a win on the record, no losses. But you know what they say? Somebody's owed, gotta go.
You had that one lined up, didn't you, Brett?
Yeah, well, you know, it's an adage that's as old as time in MMA. It's not mine.
Do you know what? I like the way you've got Colby here, just establishing the hands. But every time he's establishing the hands, Will's not letting him get away with it. You know, he's either checking him with a low kick.
Beautiful catch and a sweep.
Or he's just coming over the top there with a...
You got the corner of Grogans here giving him advice to get that wrist control, get his back to the cage, start climbing up the cage.
That's a horrible position to be in here when you bring your back to the cage again. You start stacking. Very uncomfortable position to be in.
Grogans get his hips moving though, controlling the posture at Evans.
I would say he needs to focus less on keeping the closed guard and, you know, trying to twist out the hips.
Absolutely, we're nearly a minute gone into this round.
Exactly.
Colby Evans is doing a fantastic job of controlling the position again. And that's what the judges are going to be looking at, right?
Most definitely, yeah. Control time. And this here essentially is it. But the best thing you can do is to try and turn sideways onto this cage. Unlock them feet, open your guard up, turn sideways onto the cage and look to start to wake your way to your feet. Because one thing that he doesn't have on his side is time.
Absolutely, and I suppose they're telling Will to stay sat up. Maybe not think about the guillotine so much. Maybe think about using the head pressure downwards to start climbing up. Colby Evans doing a fantastic job of squaring that guard back up as well.
He is, yeah. And again, anyone, you know yourself, jiu-jitsu, wrestling, you more or less just follow the hips. If I square the hips up to my hips and I line them and I get you flat, then I know I've got you nullified in that situation, right? So he's doing a very good job of getting them reads and them tells, and then obviously moving to that position just to make sure that he stays dominant.
And for people who do train jiu-jitsu wrestling, they may be wondering why Colby's not looking to pass the guard here, but he doesn't need to, right? Does he? He can sort of stay in full guard and keep peppering with shots, keep controlling.
I think essentially it just shows a little bit of IQ, you know, especially in these early days. He needs to be building that up with, especially getting the rounds in, because there may be fights in the future where he is finishing quick and stuff like that, and the experience will come in hand.
Oh, huge right hand there. You know, Grogans landed a little hammer fist from the bottom himself there. Both men heard the clacker, and they know they've got to put some power in these shots.
Definitely.
Wow. You know, these two are buzzing. These two are absolutely buzzing to be in there. Yeah.
For sure. You can see the excitement,
Yeah.
right?
Maybe that might be a little testament to what we're going to see, because in the third round, we've got both men here looking to trade, quite happy to trade standing. Especially in that open stance, it can be super dangerous, but they're both happy to engage.
Yeah. It's very much a back and forth when they're on the feet, you know?
Yeah, this is the sweep right here.
Yeah.
Beautiful sweep. And this is where Colby took top position, and I think for probably over 2 minutes, would not relent. He just kept on top of Will Grogan. Every time Will Grogan opened his guard, tried to move his guard, he got Colby on top. Like you said, Danny, squaring those hips back up, not giving him chance to breathe.
So it seems to be the same read as what he was getting from the first round, right? It's like as soon as he can engage, he's comfortable with the grappling position he's in, he's making sure that he's establishing his dominance in that position.
Third and final round in this amateur contest. Yeah, we've got a corner from Colby Evans telling him to keep switching stance. Will Grogan made the most of that though. Colby switched, Will throws the low kick. Another kick caught.
Yeah, again.
And Evans back in top position. I think he's felt a bit of venom in this time though. I think he's felt something in those last couple of rounds that's made him want to go for the finish. The atmosphere is totally different in this third round to the first, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, both guys have got a sense of, bit different sense of urgency.
Again, this is where it comes down to them little signs, you know, from the previous rounds, the things that you found that you were good at, things that you found that you maybe was not so good at, and then establishing them in the next round, right, to make sure it plays into your hands. So, for example, I feel like Will was very good at using his hands with the hand play and a little bit of the feints and then trying to catch him with the hands. And then I think Colby was very good, obviously, at establishing, you know, the position when it comes to the grappling. So I was like, let's stay away from the kicks. Let's just stay with the hands. You know, maybe some little feints, make level changes, make it look like we're going to try and go for that transition ourselves.
Absolutely. And Colby Evans there with the head and arm choke setting up. Keeping that head super low. Will's doing everything to get his arm back out. It looks like he's out. That's the first submission attempt we've seen from Colby.
At this position, this time, point in the fight, this is where I'd like to see Will go and try and get his feet on the hips if he can, push away just to get a little bit of a space in between them both, just to allow for him to be able to try and explode or, you know, get up onto his feet or get his back that little bit closer to the cage.
Absolutely. We've just come to the 1 minute mark left on this fight. You know, Will's got to do everything in his power to start getting up, start trying to turn the tide of this fight. He really is as well. He's driving his hips in, trying to get his feet on the hips.
Yeah, you can see 1 foot now is on the hip. His left foot's on the hip, right? There we go. Just needs to push and stand up.
Colby, though, is getting his head super high.
Again, that's one of the principles that we teach and we train. It's like the higher head generally tends to be the more dominant one. You know, it's like you're going to win that position if your head's higher.
And this is going back to what we were talking about earlier, Danny, about people coming into their early fights, already being complete fighters, already understanding these concepts. You've got to be ready in 2025 if you want to be an amateur mixed martial artist. That's
the best way to put it.
Yeah.
Like I say, you've got to have your principles in place. Your principles have got to be in place, and you've got to understand them. If you can understand them, you can transition from the one step to the next.
Final 10 seconds on this fight. Venomous shots from Colby there. Yeah. Will's looking for the up kicks. Massive show of respect as well from two young men. That's exactly what we like to see. Really good fight, Danny. Really good fight.
Really good fight. I was just about to say that. Yeah, well performed by both athletes. Both showed they were confident. You know, they wanted to put on the line, wanted to show their dominance and positions. I think it was just come down to the, you know, who was the smarter fighter ultimately.
Yeah, I think Colby did a really good job of catching the kicks, and once he caught the kick, using that to sweep rather than shoot. And once he was on top, staying on top. Back to you, like you said, fundamentals. Yeah, fundamental principles.
Again, because anytime Will was throwing them low kicks, it was just keeping Colby at bay, you know. So anytime he then go for the body kick, that's when he was getting caught and getting swept.
your contest, 80 points to 27 in favor of your winner. By unanimous decision, and fighting out on the blue corner,
They have your winner, Colby Evans.
And again, listen, it's their amateur career, right? It's their amateur fights. This is what it's about, experience more than anything else. So you can't take away from this other than an experience. It's not really a loss. You know, to me, in my eyes, it's like traction gained. It's what you want. It's experience, you know, and it ultimately is gonna add up to something in the long run.
Absolutely, 3 solid rounds for both young men. There's a lot to take away from that. You know, they've got a lot of footage to watch back. Like you said, the experience, the time spent in the cage.
You can't buy that.
You cannot buy that. And I think for a lot of people who maybe watch them or are new to MMA, they can't get their head around the idea that like the record isn't everything.
No.
The record isn't everything. These guys are in here to get as much experience as they can, ready for the pro ranks later on in their life. And
Exactly.
it's fights like that where they can learn a lot.
Exactly that. And again, if you understand the principle of what that is, it kind of helps it subjectively become an easier journey, as well as that a more enjoyable journey. And I think that, again, ultimately adds up to the longevity of the athlete, your mental aspect, and just ultimately where you picture yourself being, where you fall, and your attainment in the future.
But don't forget, guys, this is our 3rd fight of the night, which means it's the final fight that's free on YouTube. So make sure you stick around, get on the pay-per-view on Empire Combat Pass. Empire Combat Pass TV. You know, got an electric night of fights. We've got 3 title fights. We've got some sick ranked fighters coming in through later. And like you said earlier, man, a lot of young talent, there's stuff to show, there's stuff to prove.
Again, listen, Brett, I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be a part of the show, the organisation, and just be a part of this new generation of athlete and you know, younger generation that are coming through the ranks, and I've really actually been able to show what MMA is. You know, like I say, we didn't have social media, we didn't have platforms where we can go and learn stuff online, and you know, ultimately be able to get so many variations of what the sport has to offer. Like now, these kids do. And it really does show, you know. They're coming in here and they're showing they are complete from the off. They're all well-rounded. They're not just strikers, not just wrestlers, not just this, not just that. And ultimately they're being able to come in here and showcase it. So it's fantastic to be a part of it, to be able to witness it, and just see the new breed, the new gen.
Absolutely, and we've literally got the best seats in the house, right? Like, if you can see us
sorry
out there,
about
like,
that.
we are so close to the cage. I think later on we'll probably wish we were a foot or 2 back when things really start playing, but you know, that's how we've got to be there to call the fights, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But you can get to see, when you're talking about in this age of social media, in this age where people can learn so fast, you get to see the personalities up close in person.
Yeah, well again, we have a multitude way of learning, right? We have the physical, we have the mental aspect, and we also have the visual. Now with the visual side of learning, it's like we can watch tape, and without even understanding or knowing, you know, the cognitive side of things, we just start to pick up them little traits, them little signs, them little signals of when to go, when not to, then what to do in them positions. So I think that's a massive thing, especially, like I say, with the new generation coming up, they're able to really establish that.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome our next fighters to the cage. Please welcome first, making their way to the red corner, Israel Cabano.
Closest one.
Back where it fires, yeah, then go left. Go through that curtain, then go left.
So making his way to the cage, we have Israel Cabano, fighting out of Spain. He's 1-2. He's fired up, ready to go. Got that intent in his eyes. Ready to put on a show tonight. You know, his fight nickname is The Bully. He's got the physique of a bully as well, you know. And, you know, a lot of these Spanish guys, when they come to a fight, they always bring the fire. No way, you traveling abroad, you're not going to fly over to another country to fight if you're not going to bring the smoke, if you're not going to bring the intensity, and you're not going to bring the fire. So I'm really excited for this fight. This will be an amateur fight at the 155 pounds, which is 70 kilograms. Referee just doing his final checks before Israel makes his walk right into the cage, climbs the steps. It's go time. Now Rhys Evans is going to be fired up. He's just watched his teammate, Colby Evans, take the W in that last fight. He's got an incredible corner in there with him. Corner with Cage Warriors pedigree, a corner with UFC pedigree. He's made the trek over from Wales. It's like we were talking earlier, when you've got a powerful corner like that, it's going to give you some confidence. Not only that, we've just watched his teammate Colby Evans put on a fantastic grappling display in that last fight. He's going to be carrying that energy in, surely.
Yeah, for sure. I think that definitely affirms, you know, the level of where you're at. It can be intimidating for your opponent to see your corner team, also to know that, you know, your teammates won. To come out, so you're going to be carrying that. That fire with you.
I remember fighting a guy, he had Danny Mitchell in his corner, and Danny's my coach now. And I was like, damn, there's Danny Mitchell telling him how to beat me up.
Well, that's the thing, if you're in the MMA community, you generally tend to know who's in front of you, right? You see a face and you know the name. Looking ready.
With a fight nickname like the Bully, you know, that's what you're going to be, right? You've got to be ready. You can't be called the Bully and not be ready.
Got to live up to the name, right?
Yeah, right.
I always think that's a big thing though also. So the energy that you come into the cage with can either be a good or a bad thing sometimes, and you've got to kind of make sure that you have the calm or the serenity with the chaos.
Yeah, because you still need to be able to stay focused, right, Danny?
Exactly.
Oh, big switch kick there from the Bully.
That was lovely.
Hey, double unders. Israel going for some grappling throw of his own.
These are the moments between exchanges between two fighters, which a lot of people won't understand or they know. It can be quite, you know, normally you're establishing your dominance, but it's quite draining at the same time, you know, because you're trying to be fresh into the fight, fresh into the first round.
Fresh, working out who's strong where.
Exactly that.
Who's going to move where, what's the balance like, what's the timing like. Beautiful double there from Israel.
He seems to be setting the pace here from the start.
It's like I was saying earlier, Danny. If you're coming over from another country, you've got to bring the fire, you've got to bring that intensity. There's no way you're going to travel to try and slam on an anaconda in Manchester.
Exactly.
All the way from Spain. He gets that
over,
roll,
right?
yeah.
That's lovely the way he's just got that roll there. He's coming up into the top.
He's going to come with fire in his belly. Nice. That's quite tight. That's tight. Rhys Evans gives the referee a thumbs up, lets him know he's okay. But getting out of these positions early on in the fight when you're fresh.
Especially the fact with the Anaconda, you can just keep rolling through.
I think Rhys is doing a good job of keeping his elbow pulled back, making some space between his neck and shoulder. For those at home who are wondering, this is a blood choke. It's all about compressing the neck on one side and the shoulder into the neck on the other. Could be a slow burn.
Yeah, for sure. He's in a good position here, though.
Rhys, looks like Rhys is still giving the thumbs up to the referee, let him know he's okay. And
that was literally what I was about to say. How long can Israel actually hold on to that before burning their arms out, you know?
You know, there's a minute left on the fight, and
now the tide's turned.
Yeah, and Israel's going to probably get a warning from the referee. Not necessarily because he's doing anything illegal, but he's just going to be saying, look, you need to be showing me something here. You need to be getting out of this position.
Definitely.
Look at the way Rhys Evans has turned the tide on this round.
Trying to make a pay now for the fact that he's just sitting down inside the Anaconda.
Yeah, and it makes you wonder how the arms of Israel's feeling. It must be burnt out, right? Like plenty of lactic acid build-up, trying to squeeze for close to 2 minutes. Now it's Rhys Evans with the grappling exchange, but he's just falling a little bit over the top.
We'll flatten him out there.
Wow.
Yeah, this is a problem. This way he does not want to beat Israel.
Referee's going to take his look. That is all she wrote.
We spoke about this earlier, Brett, right? And we're in the first 3 fights.
Yeah, man.
We now go on to the main, yeah, right? And then we're in a position also where we look at, we spoke it to existence. We've got finishes already, you know? And I don't think we're in for a long night here at all.
No, well, that's the matching up that Gav puts on here at Kingdom. He's always getting exciting fighters in, guys who know coming to want to fight, not just want to fight, but want to finish. So, guys, if you've enjoyed your three fights here on YouTube, don't forget to head to the pay-per-view, Empire Combat Pass TV. Support your local scene, support the amateur scene. Get on there and watch some massively touted MMA prospects in a night of MMA action.
That was the last fight free on YouTube. We are not on YouTube any longer. Tell people that they've got to buy on pay-per-view.
Right, so as mentioned just before, that was our last fight on YouTube. We're now going to have to buy the pay-per-view to be able to move on to watch the rest of the fight. So please do tune in. The rest of the stack card, so we look forward to joining us now. We will be going on to the pay-per-view, so make sure you've got yours and you're linked in, and we'll be seeing you on the other side.